RC-2088, or Zag, was a clone commando who served as a sergeant in the Grand Army of the Republic's Theta Squadron. His incredibly brave and heroic actions prevented a devious Separatist spy from infiltrating the Grand Army of the Republic's communications and intelligence systems, which would have allowed him to predict every battle tactic and troop deployment that the Republic made throughout the war, destroying their chances at victory. So, I'm going to break down the heroic story of Zag's mission to capture this Separatist spy, and how he eventually went on to join the AIWHA squad. Before we get into it, make sure you smash the subscribe button for more incredible Star Wars lore content. About 69% of you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, so make sure you force choke it if you enjoy the video. The story begins in the Jedi Council chamber with Master Yoda and Mace Windu questioning Zag about exactly what happened during his valiant mission. Mace Windu questions Zag about the fresh scar markings on his face, to which he says that he could have had them fully healed with bacta, but would rather return to the front lines of combat more quickly. Master Yoda then tells Zag that the Council has read his report from the mission to capture the spy, with Mace Windu adding that they don't doubt the credibility of the report, but they would like some details to be clarified. As Zag begins to recount the mission, we move straight into the flashback, which is the main story. Zag and his squadron were providing an escort in deep space for Director Lorca Oviedo, who was the head of Oviedo Engineering. While providing the escort, Oviedo's ships reported a severe and life-threatening malfunction with their life support generator on board the ship, causing Zag's squad to drop out of hyperspace to make urgent repairs. As the fleet began to slow themselves down in preparation for the repairs, a huge Separatist control ship appeared in their sector of space, flanked by several Vulture droid fighters. The Clone Commandos become slightly suspicious but brush this off as just a simple coincidence. Zag's wingmate was then immediately incinerated into the dark vacuum of space, while the rest of the squadron engaged the swarming Separatist forces. Despite the best efforts of Zag's squadron to protect their very high value payload, the ship carrying Director Oviedo was hit and was sent plummeting through the thick atmosphere of the planet Asturias. Unfortunately, Zag and his brothers also plunged towards the surface, where each of their ships crash landed on the rocky terrain. Once he managed to escape from his burning ship, Zag quickly reported that 11 of their men were down, including the pilot. The captain of the Theta Squadron then quickly ordered his men to leave the fallen commandos behind, along with any non-essential supplies, taking only their ammunition. Following this, Zag then sends out a commando recon droid that allows the group to view the area and locate the crashed ship that they were protecting. This was actually the same commando recon droid that was used at the Battle of Munilist by the Munilist 10 in the 2003 Clone Wars series. After the commando droid soared into the air, Zag received a transmission, but there was too much interference for the signal to clearly get through. After the planet's star transitioned into a red giant, the surface was bombarded with intense radiation, making any life or machinery on the surface almost impossible to maintain. Only moments later, however, the squad spot the downed ship through the commando recon droid and begin to rapidly mobilize, rushing towards the rocky crash site. At this point, they are very worried that they have failed to protect the director, but put it out of their mind to ensure that their very high value payload is returned to the Republic at any cost. The remaining members of the Theta Squad then silently and cautiously move towards the crash site, being incredibly careful not to alert the droid forces, which they know must be nearby. As Zag and the squad burst into the ship's cold metal interior, they activate their comlinks and discover something truly chilling. Every crew member on board the ship has been killed, and not by Separatists. They were executed in cold blood. As they are continuing to investigate the bodies of the fallen crew members, one of the members of the Theta Squad alerts Zag to a shocking finding. He tells Zag that all drive nodes and lightspeed motors on the ship are fully intact, meaning that there was absolutely no reason for the crew to crash land. They now realize that something more sinister has occurred, furthering their suspicions from earlier, but they still don't know exactly what. As the squad continue their investigation, we cut straight to Director Oviedo, where we discover that he is still alive and well after the crash, and is actually working with Separatist council member and leader of the Techno Union, Wat Tambor, in secret. Oviedo is angry that Tambor did not meet in person with him because of the amount of effort he went to set up the fake crash, but agrees to continue anyway. Wat Tambor then responds to his anger, saying that the whole reason for the charade was because many within the Senate already questioned the loyalty of Oviedo Engineering and whether or not they may already be spying for the Separatists. Tambor continues to insist that the whole operation was necessary so that the Republic would not figure out that he was a Separatist spy, but Oviedo was still incredibly angry, believing that he is going to die on the desolate wasteland of a planet that he is standing on. For the final time, Wat Tambor assures him that he will be returned to the Republic as a hero, and that nobody would dare to question his loyalty to the Republic after the incident. We then learn Oviedo's true plan. He wants to win the manufacturing contract for all Republic weapons and vehicles so that he can spy on Republic forces and determine where they are deploying their forces, making it impossible for surprise attacks to take place. With this shocking amount of inside information, he could then then sell all Republic military strategy and intelligence to the Separatists for a hefty price. Following this, he is finally convinced that he will be safe and begins to insult the clone troopers, calling them vat-grown motherless killers, and hopes to destroy every single one of them. His communication is quickly interrupted, however, as the clone commandos of the Theta squad rush onto the scene, taking the heads of the battle droids cleanly off with their blasters. Once Yoda realizes that these are clone forces, he reverts back to his rage and fury towards Tambor, saying that he thought there would be no witnesses. Wat Tambor then quickly assures him that they will be dealt with swiftly and orders his droid forces to kill all witnesses and to leave absolutely no survivors. Despite this, the clone commandos are able to detonate HX-2 blast charges on most of the droid forces and capture Yoda red-handed. Dread fills his mind as he realizes that the clone commandos were listening into the whole conversation and will now report the fact that he is a spy to the Republic Senate and the Jedi Council. As they are escorting the Separatist spy from the site, one of the clone commandos is tragically hit directly in the chest with a forceful blaster bolt, killing him instantly. The droid forces eventually lose the position of the clone commandos, causing Wat Tambor to become increasingly panicked. Because of this, he orders his droid forces to kill Yoda if there is even the slightest chance that the clone commandos will be able to take him off-world. Wat Tambor is hoping that there will be absolutely no evidence of his Separatist spy program. The spy struggles to keep pace with the clone commandos as they drag him towards their own ships, but they quickly pull the man forward as vulture droids begin to swarm around them once more. Moments later, a massive blast rings through the area, injuring Zag, but his captain confirms that he is going to be okay. While this is happening, Yoda attempts to bargain for his freedom with the commandos, telling them that he is a very wealthy and influential man that can offer them a life of freedom away from the clone army. The entire squad quickly refuse the offer, telling him that they have already seen how badly he treats those loyal to him. The spy again begins to taunt the clones, saying that nobody will mourn their deaths and that nobody will hold them in their memories, but they don't fall for the trap. They are completely loyal to the Republic, and being a brave soldier on the front lines of the war is enough for them. Yoda continues to tell the clone commandos that they won't escape the planet, but they refuse to give up, vowing to fight until their last breath. The commandos eventually move their captured spy through the final hordes of Separatist battle droids, protecting him from the ferocious blaster fire from all sides. The droids push the commandos all the way back to their ship, but they successfully manage to escape from the rocky surface of the planet, jumping to hyperspace the moment they leave the atmosphere. Following this heroic rescue, we cut straight back to the meeting from the beginning with Zag, Master Yoda, and Mace Windu. Zag continues reporting the events of the mission directly back to the two, telling them of the strong effort it took to extract Yoda. Just as Mace Windu was about to dismiss Zag, he told him that his sacrifice will not go unnoticed and will not be forgotten, but that the man they were bringing back to the council had unfortunately died on the way back. After Zag leaves the room, Mace Windu and Yoda discuss how they never wanted the clone army at first, but despite that, the clones still put their lives on the line and sacrificed themselves to uphold and protect the Republic. Windu respects this dedication, but Master Yoda on the other hand is very concerned that these men follow any orders given to them for good or for bad. He realizes that while the clones fight for the Republic now, that might not always be the case. And that was how Zag and the Theta squad heroically extracted a Separatist spy from a rough, barren planet. After the mission, Zag actually went on to join the AIWHA squad, which I also have a video on, so if you want to see that, make sure you click on the screen now. The AIWHA squad was the group of clone commandos who were forced to execute Order 66 in front of a young boy, so a very tragic ending to the story of Zag there. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.